thank you once again for joining us on the Camnet TV Breakfast Show. Another edition of today, Tuesday, the 6th of December, 2022. I hope you're having a lovely morning. Like myself, we have a lot that we have lined up for you this morning at 0740 to 09 hours. We will be looking at the importance and benefit of giving back to your community. Quite interesting topic out there. But in case you're just joining us, please do send us your messages and your views on what you think with regards to our topic of discussion this morning. We will be streaming live on Facebook. You can either send us or drop us a message there. We'll be able, definitely be able to ensure that we read your messages through. I am your host, Miriam Kaimba.
And my name is Amazing Katamanda. Good morning to you. Please be part and parcel, just like my colleague has said. Get interactive with us on our Facebook page, as well as just contributing to our topic of discussion today, which is the importance and the benefits of giving back to the community. And we also have the guest, Malingose Chipeta from Shining Future Zambia Director and Giving Tuesday Country Lead. So those are some of the things that we'll be looking at. If you want to be part and parcel, you know what to do. And we don't want to waste much of your time. We love exercising, Miriam.
Exactly. Talking about exercising. Today, early in the morning, I tried by all means. You know, I said, I don't want to join the fitness path on set today. I'll just ensure that I exercise at home. Yeah, from home. I did make sure that I woke up early. I did 1 or 2 little exercise. Yeah, just to keep fit. You know, someone was telling me, you know, our generation, we haven't invested, going to the gym, waking up easy. Early in the morning.
It's not easy,
I know, but it's very, very good for our health.
It's very important.
Imagine later on, maybe in your 40s, in your 50s, you start getting these complications because you never used to exercise when you were very young.
Yeah, and if we look at our friends in the eastern parts of the world,
look young.
They are 50, but you look at their bodies, they look like they are 28.
Exactly.
So I think
that is a very, very good thing. You don't need to go for surgery or stuff like that. Just exercise.
Exercising, very, very important. I think this morning, join us with the fitness puppy with our morning boost. So let's exercise together.
Hi ladies and gentlemen, I'm Cholwe from Cho's Fitness Gym. We're a fully functional gym located along Twin Palm Road in Kablonga, right by Cheshire Homes Society of Zambia. So we have various classes that happen from Monday to Friday. We have aerobics, we have boot camp, we have step aerobics, we have spinning, we have kettlebell classes. They happen from 18 to 19 hours every day, and we are open from 06 until 20 hours. That's Monday to Friday. Then Saturdays 6 to 12, and then Sundays we are closed. And most public holidays we are open 6 to 12. So you're welcome to visit and come and train with us. And for now, I'll show you certain exercises you could do from. Thank you. Hi ladies and gentlemen, Cholwe again here. I'm going to show you a few exercises and do to get you fit, to get the blood pumping. So with every set of exercises, you need to start first with stretch, which is very, so we'll do a few stretches. And you press your hands together and touch the floor, and you can hold it for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then you can go side to side, you twist. That's 1. We're gonna go for 10, 2, that's 3, that's 4, that's 5, that's 6, that's 7, that's 8, that's 9, and 10. Alright, then you're going to place your hands like this from the back, hands behind, and then you're going to stretch that back and hold it for 10 seconds. That's 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then you want to stretch hands behind and stretch. That's 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then you can go for 10 here. That's 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then behind, that's 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then you can stretch your feet. Just hold it for 10 seconds. If balancing is hard, you can always hold somewhere. So hold it for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then the other side, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Okay. So the first exercise we'll do 1 minute. This one is good. Basic jumping on the up and back with the hands. We'll go for 1 minute and make sure your hands touch. So modified version, if you can't jump, you can always go 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to show you the full jump in just a minute. It's 6. Okay, that is 1 minute jacks, approximately 55. So the next one, push-ups. We'll do the modified push-ups. So we'll go for 1 minute of push-ups as well. So with the modified version, you want to place your knees in this position, move to the front. Here we go. All right, and you go down. So the key is for your elbows to point out. That's 2. This is the modified version. Like that. If you can't see from this angle, I'm gonna turn. Like that, modified. If that's too hard, place your feet on the ground and go like that. So you put the push-ups for 1 minute. And now I go into the full push-up. Go down, stretch. Stretch. I like to breathe when I go up. Others, you can go as fast as you can.
That was our morning boast for today, and I hope that you were exercising with us. Miriam today didn't join in. I don't know why. Oh, you mentioned earlier that
I exercised from home.
Oh, okay. No, it's good.
And you know, all those things that he was doing, I would have been sweating on set by now, trust me.
I know, but
I just made sure that early in the morning when I woke up, I did do my exercise and
what
a cup
type of
exercise
tea did you do, Miriam?
And a cup of tea. Katamanda, please.
I know you don't know the names. I know you don't know the names, but I just know you exercised.
you know, I got one of the 2 tips that the fitness puppy last time taught us. You know, you need to stretch your hand, your leg, you do this while, you run a bit.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is called, but anyway, I just exercise.
I think I started exercising. I've been lazy for a long time. I think that will be one of my resolutions for 2023. I'll start exercising because I'm someone who doesn't exercise. I think the walking that I do is enough exercise.
Really?
Yes.
No, but you need to apply something. You know, you need to apply something and do other stuff.
No, definitely I'll start doing. But anyway, still on the topic of keeping fit, let's get to see what the doctors have for us on the Health Corner.
Once again, my name's Dr. Ebedi Sadoki. I'm a public health specialist and currently now working with USAID SAFE. Like I said yesterday, today we continue discussing mental health awareness. And today I would like to talk about the common manifestations of mental health disorders. I simply mean, how do we see that this, what do we see in patients with mental illnesses? So I'll just briefly break it down simply into 3 groups. So there will be clinical depression, anxiety disorder, and bipolar. There are a lot of manifestations, but I will just dwell on these 3. Under clinical depression, there is persistent feeling of sadness, loss of interest that characterizes in different things. Some lose interest even taking care of their own bodies. They don't mind whether they've bathed or anything, and it can lead to a wide range of other physical symptoms. For example, some will show themselves in moody. They'll be anxious and general discontent. They're not happy with anything that's happening around. They act like they're so hopeless, and there's a lot of interest or pleasure in any activities, and they have mood swings or sadness. Then also it shows itself with behavior abnormalities, agitation. They get angry with anything. They're extremely irritable, restlessness, and social isolation. And then also they can show themselves in sleep. There's early awakening. They'll sleep just for a few hours and they're already up, or excessive sleepiness, insomnia, which is lack of sleep, or restless sleep. They'll sleep like they are just awake. And then the other one is that clinical depression shows itself. It's just the whole body changes. There may be weight gain or weight loss. It will also show itself with poor appetite or rumination, that is excessive thinking about something, and this can also lead to suicide. Among the other disorders that I mentioned about, which manifest in anxiety, is when they express stress out of proportion to the event. There is an ability to set aside a worry or restlessness. There is hypervigilance. There is racing thoughts or unwanted thoughts. So these are under anxieties. Then on bipolar, we have such a manifestation of high energy, excessive everything. It's either they are highly energized or they are just inactive or apathy to anything that's happening around. So I think these are the ways that we can see that there are mental disorders in this particular individual. So for today, thank you so much. See you tomorrow when we'll talk about the common triggers of mental illness disorders. Thank you. Bye.
And that's what we had for you on the Health Corner. I hope that you've learned a thing or two and you start paying attention to what is happening to you and around you. If you want to be part and parcel of the breakfast show, please call us using the numbers that are on your TV screens and get to share with us your thoughts on our topic of discussion, which is the importance and the benefits of giving back to your community. So give us your thoughts. We want to hear from you. I think we are opening the phone lines now. So yeah.
Exactly, Katamanda. But anyway, just a reminder to our viewers, in case you're just joining us or watching us for the first time, is that the Healthy Corner, just like the money market, it's up for sponsorship. Please do come on board and sponsor us, and just make sure that you give visibility to your product. Right about now, go direct into our money market and see how our currency is performing. So there we have the British pound. They are buying at 20 kwacha 94 ngwe and selling at 21 kwacha 35 ngwe. We have the euro. They are buying at 18 kwacha 02 ngwe and selling at 18 kwacha 38 ngwe. We have the South African rand buying there at 99 ngwe and selling at 1 kwacha 01 ngwe. We have the United States dollar. They are buying at 17 kwacha 02 ngwe and selling at 17 kwacha 35 ngwe. That's our foreign exchange for today, the 6th of December 2022. Mainly our focus is on the US dollar. There we have seen that on the buying side it's already on 17, and the selling side it's already on 17. So that is like 17 35 ngwe. Shortly, I hope we don't see it, graduating, becoming an adult, going into the 18. But anyway, we have officially opened our phone lines, so you can just take part in our conversation this morning. And our topic of discussion, like my colleague Elias said, the importance and benefit of giving back to your community. Many a times that we are so much used, Katamanda, of, just getting. We don't appreciate give.
It's all about receiving.
Yeah.
But there are benefits, and it's also important to just give back to our community and not just looking at people's situation, but just showing the example that Jesus gave us. It's all about loving.
And this is a festive month, so it's time to give. Basically, I am expecting a present from you.
It will come.
It's Christmas time,
I know you will do it. I don't even have to tell you. I know you will do it. So we'll do an exchange.
Thank you.
I give you. Anyway, now we get to the zooming in headlines of yesterday, what we had on the news. So Patrick Soko did a story on financial crimes, and Chief Justice Mwamba Malila says it is no longer business as usual for the judiciary in the work of increased economic and financial crimes. Justice Malila notes that the virtual crimes has increased as criminals are taking advantage in the advancement in digital technology and the financial sector. So let's zoom into that story, and then we'll give our thoughts, and you can feel free to give us your thoughts by calling or texting using the numbers that are on your TV screens, or better yet, you can leave your comments on our Facebook page.
The advancement of digital technology in the financial sector world over, much as it has come with social and economic benefits, it has also come with challenges as criminals have opted to utilize the virtual space to commit economic and financial crimes. Zambia is not spared from financial and economic crimes perpetrated through illicit financial flows such as tax evasion and other computer-related pilferage of resources. It is against this background that Zambia introduced the Economic and Financial Crimes Code. Chief Justice Mwamba Malila says it can no longer be business as usual for the judiciary in the wake of the highlight of economic and financial crimes. Speaking when he officiated at the Cyber and Economic Financial Crimes training for judges and magistrates in Lusaka Monday, the Chief Justice notes that capacity building among adjudicators is vital towards combating financial crimes.
In order to enhance the government's efforts to combat illicit activities and ill-gotten wealth, which have negatively impacted the country's economic growth, the judiciary, as an arm of government responsible for legal interpretation and enforcement has to up its game. It is not business as usual. For this reason, in early January this year, as we have heard, one of the first things that I did barely a month after taking office was to establish the Economic and Financial Crimes Division of the High Court, pursuant to Article 133(3) of the Constitution of Zambia and the High Court Act, Chapter 27 of the laws of Zambia.
He says the Economic and Financial Crimes Court is being introduced at the subordinate courts and that rules are being formulated to ensure efficient and speedy delivery of justice.
As some participants may be aware, we are in the process of putting up rules of court to specifically deal with economic and financial crimes and how to fast-track adjudication of these crimes. We are currently relying on the general procedural rules applicable in the subordinate court and in the High Court. And these rules are, however, not always adequate for specialized adjudication, and we look forward to the best practices that can be adopted in the rules that we are crafting for enhanced efficient adjudication of this species of crime.
And speaking area, Western Attorney General Alliance representative for Zambia, Dr. Frida Mwamba, states that economic and financial crimes have devastating effects to the economy and development, hence the need to combat the vice.
We have also seen the internet being increasingly used to commit crimes, as through the use of technological tools like cryptocurrencies, perpetrators are able to carry out their crimes with minimal risks of detection, facilitating crimes like money laundering. These crimes thus challenge our ability to grow our economy, maintain public trust, and preserve the rule of law, thereby making the training of utmost importance.
Patrick Soko, Camnet News.
Quite important there that the Chief Justice Mumba Madila did, has put an emphasis on the need for, the judiciary, talking about the judges and magistrates, have this financial knowledge when it comes to the cyber laws, so that they can fight these financial crimes in the country as they conduct their day-to-day duties. Katamanda, what is another story of headline that we have this morning for our viewers?
And this one was done by Sharon, our colleague, Sharon Kaimbula, in the Ministry of Community Development and Social Services. Doreen Mwamba says volunteers play an important role in helping government and other stakeholders achieve developmental goals. So let's just get to see what is in the story.
Volunteering is an act of an individual or group freely giving time and labor for community service. Volunteers are usually trained in specific sectors they operate in. In Zambia, like many other countries, developmental aspirations are far-fetched without volunteers, who are usually the first respondents to situations. The health and education sector are among the sectors with the most volunteers in Zambia. 5th December each year is set aside to appreciate the role they play in shaping sustainable development. Speaking during the launch of the National Voluntary Policy by the Ministry of Community Development, the Zambia Volunteer Organization Committee representative Nicholas Panda says the policy is something that has come at the right time.
One of the challenges that the volunteers were faced in Zambia was the lack of volunteer policy, but now with the development of the National Volunteer Policy in place, it will be easy for volunteers to work effectively. A national volunteer policy will help to guide the activities of volunteers in Zambia. So for us as a coordinating committee, we actually, we are happy that this long journey is finally coming to an end, because it will help also to harmonize the way volunteers work in Zambia. I think most of us who have been working with volunteers, I think the main challenge has been that there hasn't been, a harmonized structure in terms of, for instance, how do you motivate the volunteers? we had various organizations giving different incentives.
And United Nations Resident Coordinator says volunteers play an important role, especially during pandemics. She says the theme for this year, which is solidarity through volunteering, aptly embraces the UN's family commitment to volunteer in Zambia and beyond.
United Nations Volunteers UNV program, we recognize an estimated 1 billion volunteers who offer their skills, time and enthusiasm to communities across the world to contribute to changing the world. In the health sector, we see that volunteers are often the first line of defense against disease outbreaks. Allow me to cite the March 2020, when Zambia recorded the first COVID-19 cases. Deserving special mention are the courageous 833 community youth volunteers who were recruited by the government and the UN system to provide preventive COVID-19 education and information, and specifically drive the risk communication and community engagement campaigns.
And Minister of Community Development, Doreen Mwamba, says the National Volunteer Policy launched today will help guide activities of volunteers in Zambia, adding that government places importance on anyone who embraces developmental programs.
The government of the Republic of Zambia recognizes and appreciates the contributions that volunteers make at different levels in our society. Government and the United Nations systems have both benefited through integrating volunteerism in the national and global development agenda worldwide. There are over 1 billion volunteers who contribute to achieving the Sustainable Development Goals. My government is committed to ensuring that volunteerism is given special recognition, given its significant role in attaining sustainable development goals.
Sharon Kalimbola, Camnet News, Lusaka.
National Volunteer Policy. Indeed, volunteers do play an important role in helping government and other stakeholders achieve developmental goals. This is something that we should, put into consideration, and I'm glad, Katamanda, that government has come up with this National Volunteer Policy. Indeed, volunteers do a lot of stuff. So let's talk about during the pandemic. They were there, going in the community, ensuring that people get accurate information. They were doing those services for free.
Yeah, so they need to be appreciated or just motivated in one way or the other.
Exactly.
Because they played a huge role. There was so much misconception when it came to the COVID-19. People had wrong information, but they took it upon themselves to just ensure that they give us the right information. Even as people were getting jabbed, they had the right information.
Exactly.
So, no, they really need to be appreciated.
Exactly.
They really need to be appreciated.
And we're moving forward. Don't forget that our topic of discussion this morning is the importance of giving back to the community. Now, last week on the 29th of November 2022, we saw Giving Tuesday country leads director having a community engagement, or rather a donation in Chainda compound, where they gave various school items to school-going children, Katamanda, talking about bags, shoes, and other stuff. This is basically, I didn't know that there's such a thing as Giving Tuesday.
Apparently
every year on the 29th of November, the world has this, commemorate this thing called Giving Tuesday, where they give to the community, to give to other people, This is very important.
Is it done on Tuesday?
It's done on Tuesday, on the 29th. So that's why it's called Giving Tuesday.
Oh, okay.
Exactly.
No, it's a good thing that we have the media that is giving us this information, because I'm sure a lot of people can say they didn't know about this, but it's good that
Equally, I didn't know. I knew about it on the 29th of November, and I was like, when I was covering the event, I was just like, oh, okay. So such a thing exists. And I was really, really happy that this thing demonstrates how we should appreciate where we're coming from and just, give something to someone. You never know how you are helping out someone.
Yeah, to you it might be nothing.
And put a smile on their face.
Exactly, to you it might be nothing, but to the people that you are helping, it means a whole lot. It's a world to them. So we should be thinking of others. If you have some things that you haven't been using in quite a long time, they don't have to be damaged things. At least they should be things that look good. You might as well just go to a shop, get something new, and then give it out.
Yeah, this is the spirit of Ubuntu that we're calling on. A united spirit, a spirit of giving. This is what we want. But anyway, before we transition into our topic this morning and call our guest in studio, let's get to look at this story in the Giving Tuesday, which we did on the 29th of November, 2022. Zambia joined more than 80 countries around the globe in Giving Tuesday, when acts of radical generosity are encouraged. Giving Tuesday, often described as a global day of giving or a global generosity movement, is commemorated each year in November. A consortium of donors Tuesday morning put together resources to purchase school materials given to less privileged learners at Chainda Open Community School in Lusaka's Chainda compound. Over 200 pupils have benefited from the donation that has seen the distribution of school bags, food items, pencils, shoes, and sanitary pads for vulnerable girls. Registrar of NGOs at the Ministry of Community Development graced the donation on behalf of the Minister, Doreen Mwamba, and has since appreciated the Giving Tuesday group for the good gesture designed to help the less privileged learners at the community school in Chainda compound. She says the initiative is in line with the government's programs designed to support the less privileged in society, as designed in the 8th National Development Plan that seeks not to leave anyone behind.
Our gathering here today symbolizes the great Zambian spirit of Ubuntu. It is gratifying to remember that one of the policy pronouncements our Republican President made in the recent past was the free education policy. However, the vulnerable children still face challenges with school needs, such as uniforms, shoes, and books. For this reason, government has further increased the budgetary allocation to social protection to cater for the increase in the needs of beneficiaries and other various interventions.
Area Councillor Patrick Nsama, who was also represented by Ward Development Committee, Alan Simukoko, says the donation will lighten the burden of parents in sourcing school materials.
While the new Dawn government is making every effort to create jobs, facilitate establishment and growth of various businesses, it is imperative that existing and new business develop a culture of corporate citizenship by continuously supporting social causes within our communities. Individual citizens should equally not feel inadequate to lend a helping hand. By doing so, we are reframing and strengthening the spirit of one Zambia, one nation that we are known for.
And Giving Tuesday, through its country lead, Malingose Chipeta, says the global initiative is formed to support anyone in need. She has since requested government to mandate cooperative entities to support charitable organizations.
Generosity movement that encourages people to do generous things. You can show love to somebody. You can give anything. It doesn't have to be material. Even just taking your time talking to somebody that is giving. So we are also celebrating together with the world, and we are excited. And we thought the children of Chainda would benefit because of the difficulties that they're going through. So today we're giving school bags, we're giving sanitary towels, we are giving books, and we're giving pencils and pens.
Meanwhile, some of the beneficiaries have expressed gratitude for the gesture.
Sapato, my books, my uniforms, at least in free education but monga ban sapato want to be my tibudago sapato my uniform my bags. Thank you very much for the passer.
Miriam Kaimba reporting for Camnet TV News. Giving Tuesday, a very, very important event that I must say. Right about now, we transition into our topic and the discussion this morning, where we're looking at the importance and benefits of giving back to your community. And in studio, we are joined by Malingose Chipeta, the Shining Future Zambia Director and Giving Tuesday country lead. Good morning and welcome to the Camnet TV Breakfast Show.
Good morning. Thank you very much for having me.
We are glad to have you this morning. How is your morning so far?
So far, so good.
Is it hot? Too much hot? You know, a lot of people are complaining. Hey, it's really hot.
It's been hot. The night particularly has been hot. We expect to have the rains soon.
Yeah, exactly. Just going direct into our topic of discussion this morning, but can you just tell us more about your organization? What is Shining Zambia?
Okay, so Shining Future Zambia is an organization that helps orphans and vulnerable children, helps the youth in our society, and the elderly people. Yes, it was, this is something that started way back, but it was legalized in 2018. That's when it was officially registered with Registrar of Societies. Yes, so far, what we do with the school children is that we help with school supplies, that's school bags, uniforms, and books. We're grateful to the government because now it's free education, so that lessens our burden. But then before it was free education, we needed to facilitate also with school fees. But then now it means that we can help a wider range of children with school supplies, and like that, they will not have excuses of not going to school. Yes. Then when it comes to the elderly people, what we do is that we have a project in Chainda and Chawama, where we help the elderly with clean water. So what we will do is that we pay instead of them going to the communal tap, we identify those that are really, really vulnerable. Then we help, we pay for them at Lusaka water, and then we also pay for the pipe work, and they connect water to their doorstep.
Okay, interesting. I have seen that a lot of people in our country, do not have this mindset of trying to, start up this thing of charity work. Most of people, when they start up an organization, they would still want something that they're going to, generate income from that. What led you exactly to, to go into charity works? What was the passion? Where did the passion come from, in short?
Oh, okay. So like the passion started way back, where you just have a heart and you just want to see that somebody has a better future, somebody gets also just an education. I remember when I was very young, I grew up in North Mid, and if you're familiar with North Mid, we have the Manda Hill Bridge, where you used to have a lot of street kids, and people were afraid to even go there. But for me, I was not afraid. When I knock off from school, I have excess money, I'd go into ShopRite, buy bread and some juice, and eat with the street kids, and they would escort me back home up to the doorstep. So it's just a passion that started way back, and where I just want to see somebody happy. I just want to see a smile on somebody's face. And then what led me to even register the organization, I thought also about my children. I said I want to teach them to share what they have. I want to teach them to give, so that they can also, if I go with them in the community, when they see the way other people are living, then at least they'll have a different picture, and they'll be able to have that. Even when I'm gone, at least they can continue with the legacy.
So we have a lot of people that have this mentality of saying people are just lazy, these people just don't want to work, but you are still helping. You don't have that kind of mentality, you're helping them. But a lot of people out there think these people are lazy, they just don't want to work, they just don't want to do anything. So with what you're doing, how do you think we can improve the standards of living in these compounds?
Okay, with that said, what I feel is
first things that we need to do is, I think, a mindset change. We need to change the mindset of the people. And generally, as Zambians, we need to change our mindset. Yes, sometimes you might feel that people are lazy. They'll just want to get handouts because they want to they want to wait for that white collar job. Yes, but what we do, but there are some people that you know where you really they need the help, and when you help them, they'll utilize that help to also like maybe help another person. And also we have another project where we help the young widows and women we empower them with instead of just giving them handouts all the time, we give them a business that they can do, but then we'll monitor them for 3 months. If we see that they'll fail the first time, we'll go back the second time, pump in some money, and if we see that they've failed, then we'll just say, okay, I think now you just can't be helped, you just want to receive. So until when you learn to manage your business. Yeah.
Let's talk about the importance and the benefits of giving back to the community. A lot of people would not understand the importance of giving back to the community.
Okay, so giving back to the community, I think it's very important, especially like coming to some of us that also deal with children, because like that you're impacting. You're giving them something that will be able to help them in the future. So if you go, for example, I'll give an example of Chainda because we work in Chainda. Imagine if we just maybe like we help maybe 100 children. Believe you me, from that 100, at least we'll be assured of even the 20 having a better future because they'll know that somebody helped me. And they'll be able in future to also help other people, other children that might need that help.
Exactly. Very interesting there. In case you just tuned in, you are watching the Camnet TV Breakfast Show, and in studio this morning we are having a discussion on the importance and benefits of giving back to the community. Right about now, we take a short break and we'll be right back.
For immediate coverage of any breaking or latest news in Zambia and around the world on Camnet Television, call the numbers on your screen. Camnet Television, bringing to your screens fair news, impartial news, credible and reliable news all the time. Get the whole truth on Camnet World News. Camnet Television, not just another channel.
Thank you so much for still staying tuned to the Camnet TV Breakfast Show. In case you're just joining us, we are talking about the importance and benefits of giving back to the community. Those watching us live on Facebook, please drop us a message. And those watching us in the comfort of your home, please give us a call and contribute to our discussion this morning. And in studio, we are joined by Shining Future Zambia Director, Malingose Chipeta, who is helping us have our topic of discussion this morning into details. You know, she's someone who has passion of giving to the community. Quite interesting. I hope our viewers out there will be able to learn one or two things in terms of giving back. I was telling you earlier on that, you know, we need to have this mentality of giving back to the community. But anyway, looking at our current situation in the country, let's talk about the high levels of unemployment, poverty, among other things. Do you think we're in the right direction in achieving the Sustainable Development Goal of 2020 in ensuring that Zambia becomes a middle-income, prosperous country?
Like I said earlier on, it all depends. Yes, we can achieve that, but then it depends on the mindset. We as Zambians have to change the mindset. We have to change our mindset. We have to put our mind to it. But once our mindset is not changed, then we cannot. We will not achieve that.
Yeah, we need, like everybody has to like just tell themselves that yes, I can do something. I can, they can start from their backyards, you know, where you just do, instead of like all the time going to the market to buy vegetables, you just put up something at your backyard. The local businesses can come in and help their communities to just help boost them up. Maybe a local, maybe a local business in that community can say, okay, I'm going to take up 20 children. I'm going to give back. I'm going to help them, maybe to get an education, or maybe I'm going to empower the youths. I'm going to empower the young boys. Maybe like maybe 2 or 3 businesses come together. We say we empower them and we'll pay them something. Let them clean maybe the streets of Charleston. The businesses in Charleston just come up. But if once we have that mindset change, then yes, we can attain it. But if we remain like this, then it will be difficult. So we need to change our mindset.
Okay, you have talked so much about mindset change. Who do you think should advocate, or who do you think is the right person to just give people the right information when it comes to mindset change? As your organization, I know you're doing something, but do you feel there's someone else as well who needs to, you know, inculcate this information in people's minds to say we need to change, we need to think like this in order for us to change our community?
Of course, the government plays a major role. If the government can start on some of these sensitization messages to just make sure that they just send out messages on maybe on a program like this one, on other TV stations, it would really help. And also other organizations and just the community people. If we can just start like trying to see if we can change our mindset, but the major person, the major organization that can do this is the government.
Okay, you mentioned something that is something that I've always loved doing. You started when you were very young, when you had some monies, you just get some bread and then eat with those kids, even though everybody, you know, was sidelining everybody, but you took it upon yourself to just helping those children. And then not only did you start when you were young, but you are also imparting the same knowledge that you have in your children. What does it mean for you to just teach your children to helping others? Because I believe you also need stuff in your life, but you still find time to help them. And then you're also teaching your children. What does it mean to you to just sit down with your children and then, you know, telling them the importance of giving back to the community?
For me, it's very, very important that I just impact that knowledge. And like I'm a role model to my children. You'll find that in my house, even all the time, even when it's weekend, my children will come. Where are we going to give?
They already used.
They already used. Where are we going to give? So like that, it makes me happy, and I know that they have that. They've gotten my passion of going to share the little that they have. And to me, it's very important because it shows me that at least they're living that Christian side of sharing what we have. Because the Bible says that God loves a cheerful giver. And when giving, you have to give wholeheartedly. And I've taught my children to give that giving has to be sacrificial. They don't have to give their clothes that maybe because they are torn, they can't wear them anymore. Then they go and give. Even that which they love very much, they can just get it and go and give.
Okay.
So, and I'm happy that at least they followed that path and they do it, so it gladdens my heart.
Oh, congratulations to you. Yeah, really doing a great job.
Exactly. And I think, you know, a lot of parents should, you know, emulate you and teach their children on the importance of giving back to the community. This is quite interesting. We don't want to see Katamanda, like you were saying earlier on, you know, just because your clothes have gone bad, and then... Anyway, let's just pick up this caller before I finish my earlier thought. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
You're through to the Camnet TV Breakfast Show. Who are we talking to this morning?
Lungu.
Yes, Mr. Lungu, where are you calling us from?
Mafinga.
It's good to know that Mafinga is watching. Please go ahead with your contribution.
Yes, I just wanted to say on the importance of giving back. Something that is very important, and all the services that are given when people are trying to give back to the community go a long way to help common Zambians who cannot manage. For example, the street kids, the old, and those who can't support on themselves. And the giving back to the community is not only monetary or items. It is services. You do voluntary work at a school, that is giving back to the community. A little bit to find out. The madam from this morning,
Shining Future Zambia, yes.
Yes, good morning, madam.
Good morning, Mr. Lungu.
Yes, you wanted to find out, when do you plan to unfold your program? Because what I've seen or discovered is that a lot of NGOs who are helping especially the old and others are concentrated much along the line of rail. When do you intend to move out, even into remote areas like Makinga? Because we have 40 people here who need support. When do you intend to do that?
Thank you so much, Mr. Lungu. Maybe you can respond to his question. Interesting. They just don't want you to be in Lusaka, but to go to other places.
Yes, we're not only in Lusaka, we also work from Rufunsa and Chisamba. But then, Mr. Lungu, you can just get in touch with Camnet. You never know. We can just come and do something in Mafinga. We are very open. Yeah.
Interesting.
Especially that it's Christmas time, and we are organizing a lot of things for Christmas. So we might just send something to Mafinga. If we can't come personally, then we can tell you to organize something that can go to the elderly people.
Okay.
Interesting.
So, so as an organization, are there other organizations that you partner with in making sure that you're giving back to the communities, or maybe you're just focused on working as Shine Future Zambia, or maybe you also partner with other organizations?
So like for this is like Shining Future Zambia is just Shining Future Zambia, but then we also have like other organizations that support our works. We have individuals that support our works. Like it's Shining Future Zambia is it's not a funded organization at the moment, but we just depend on well wishers. But then if you see the works that we have done, it's more like it's funded, and we are grateful to our friends and partners that just come through to help us.
Interesting. When we go in the street of Lusaka, we have seen a lot of street kids, despite government through the ZNAs, coming up with certain programs like entrepreneurship programs of ensuring that they're empowered with the skills and remove them from the street. But we have continued seeing an increased number of people going back to the street. Is it the mentality? Are we going to see in the near future, us completely, removing this kind of thought that people always have where they need to go on the street and, get something, ask for something?
Yeah, I think our Ubuntu has slowly died. But then I'll tell you something, Miriam. What is happening now, like not everyone that you see on the streets has nowhere to go. Some of them are coming from very good homes. Some of them have they have people that can look after them. But I think also what is affecting most of these young people is the drug abuse. It has just gone on the rampage, and it's really killing our young people. Young people are actually running away from their homes to go on the streets. So it's not every child that you find on the street that is vulnerable. No, some of them have coming from good homes. Some of them are leaving good schools to just go on the streets because of the abuse, the drug abuse.
What would you suggest that we do to ensure that we do not have this tendency of people going back to the street, to beg for something at the end of the day? And in short, they're more like, initiating others. Like, okay, he has gone on the street, I should also do the same thing. What do you think we should do to completely remove this mindset?
So I think that also the government has also a major role to play on that one. If they can just try and like maybe try and arrest the masterminds, because there's somebody like who is you know, there's someone bigger who is like enticing the young children to do this. Then the other thing is we need our Ubuntu back. Those children, if other relatives, those that don't have where to go, if relatives can begin to start taking in some of these children, and also if we can have shelter homes, safe places where they can go to for counseling, and if ZNS maybe can increase the numbers of these the numbers of the children that they can be taking in, it would also be good. So one, the government has to curb the people that are enticing the children to do the drug abuse. Two, we need like those guardians, those relatives to just go all out and bring back their Ubuntu and take in some of these children. And we need a lot of safe houses.
Okay. You have mentioned something about counseling, and this is something that I don't know, we haven't paid much attention to it compared to the Western world, like our friends. They make it like a must where every family should have a therapist or a counselor, where they do have these sessions where they talk about things that they are going through, because some of the kids that run away, like you mentioned yourself, it's not like it's everyone who's vulnerable. Some come from good homes, but only that maybe they are not shown love, and then the way that they end up looking for love in the streets. So do you think we should also maybe shift our mindsets, apart from just helping people with skills and everything? Do you think we should also increase the number of maybe counselors, or we should introduce courses that are just going to give us a lot of counselors, a lot of therapists, psychological people that do all these things where you sit down, you talk about your emotions or how you're feeling? Do you think we should increase the number, or we should introduce such programs that are going to help people to just talk about how they feel?
Most definitely, that is a must. We need to increase the number of counselors. We need to not just have like Chainama as a counseling center. And you know how it is, there's this stigma. If you tell somebody that you're going for counseling at Chainama, they'll feel like, oh, enough phone down. You know what I mean? But if we can have a lot of like centers where these young people can go and get therapy, not only young people, even the elderly people, the parents, where they can go and get therapy, then I think would be heading somewhere, and some of them would see that there's a change, and we don't have like some of these things would be, I think, would be kept. We wouldn't see a lot of children on the streets. We wouldn't see a lot of children going into drug abuse. If we can, I think, yeah, you're right, we need to increase that. But then not only Chainama, if we can also have other centers where people can go to, it would be very good.
So as an organization, are we going to see you recruiting maybe counselors, or maybe you already have them where you...
Yeah, so like for us, we've deliberately... we talk, well, of course we talk, because there's this girl-child thing going on, we talk to young girls, but we've now deliberately started programs of talking to
because the boys were being left out.
Yes, we deliberately started talking to young boys. So we also have like events this December coming up for the young boys, where we'll have counselors that will come. We'll invite people from Childline Lifeline Zambia. We have some people that are going to come from, some young men that are going to come from Wilsa to just come and talk to these young boys about mental health, and also just about a lot of different topics about drug abuse. And how they can just grow into like responsible young men.
You know, I'm very happy that you have decided to take up this approach of ensuring that you bring different stakeholders on board so that they can have this talk with the young boys. You know, most of the time our focus is on a girl child, unfortunately. Forgetting that there's a boy child also. How do you think this has somehow affected them? Because I know some way or another this has affected them, because much of the policies that government has enforced or put in place usually in favor of a girl child.
Yes, because if you are like, we all know, at some point a girl child was sidelined. A girl child was like the one to do everything, and like a boy child was more respected than a girl child. But then I think we need to balance the equation. that we need to, as much as we are talking about girl child, we also need to talk about the boy child. Because if you've, for example, if you notice now, the pass rate for the boy children has gone down, but then the pass rate for the girl child has gone up, which is good. But then we need to balance the equation. We need, as much as we are talking about the girl child, we also need to encourage the boy child, because we are grooming these young boys. If we just leave them like that, then we're not. They'll continue with like abusing the girl child. But then if we start them when they're very young, so they'll grow up to be responsible young men, and we'll have a balanced equation where both the girl child is doing fine and the boy child is doing fine. If we can just take it, I think now the approach should be where, yes, we advocate for both the girl child and both the boy child.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I hope the policymakers are getting one or two things there, where she is emphasizing on the point that we need to strike a balance and ensure that a boy child is also ahead, in as much as we're advocating for a girl child. I know, because a lot of time girls are always vulnerable to certain different situations, talking about defilement, rape, and all sorts of things. And in case you're just joining us, we are talking about the importance and benefit of giving back to your communities. In studio, we are joined by Malingose Chipeta, the Shining Future Zambia Director. I hope I pronounced your name correctly this time. I was just trying to make sure. But anyway, moving forward, in our topic of discussion this morning, do you think we need to introduce, moving forward, a subject, maybe a course, or it can be maybe, what do they call it, PE or something, when you're in school, a session where, learners will be taught about the importance of giving back to society, so that in as much as they are growing up, they appreciate, that the importance of this thing. Do you think we need to introduce this in our schools, so that learners, as they grow up, they understand the importance of this?
I think it is very important. Like just with like what the caller said, like giving is not only about material. It's not only about skills. Giving is also about emotional. Giving is also about just sparing that time talking to someone. So I think we should introduce that in schools, where like learners are taught on like different forms of giving, on how they can give back to society. Like for example, I'll give you, like we have an MOU with Zera Healthy School of Sciences. And they've given us a 50% discount for those that want to do nursing and clinical medicine. So what we are telling the students that are coming from Shining Future Zambia going to Zera is, we're telling them, you have to come and plow back. You need to come and give back to the community. Once you're done with your course, you get a job. You also need maybe to pick up on somebody that you can help. It doesn't mean that you have to give us like your whole salary, but you just say, okay, I'll give in maybe even 1% or 2% of my money.
Interesting, and we'll ensure that everyone in society is okay. Yeah, they're fine at the end of the day.
We're looking out for each other. In a case where, there are times when you help people, and then, especially when you give them money, you see, okay, I'm giving you this money or they ask for money, you help them, and then they go and use it to either get alcohol or other drugs, they start abusing. How do you keep up with the spirit of helping, regardless of you being discouraged by, you're helping this person out, and then they are not doing anything to help themselves? Instead, they're using that money that you're giving them, or even when you give them books, you give them shoes, they go and sell those shoes and they use money to abuse the drugs. How do you, as an organization, keep helping those people? Before helping them, do you maybe sort of have a policy where you sit down with them, you help them out first with mental issues, then now you help them out, or you keep helping them? How is it done? Because I want to understand. Some of us get discouraged. You want to help this person, or you have helped them, but they keep coming back. You are not seeing any change that they're making.
So as an organization, as we've made it deliberately to go like in the community to find out the real need. And we have like community mobilizers that help us. We go in the community. Sometimes we sit with these families and we want to just find out, are they really vulnerable? Do they need the help? And when we give them that help, are they going to put it to good use? So at least we've taken that angle, and so far we've not had problems because we take the help to those that are really, really in need. And we don't also just give money as an organization. For example, if we're giving somebody a business, we'll have to go and sit down with them, ask them, what is it that you want to do? And when they tell us, we'll go and buy those things for them. And then we'll monitor them, like I said earlier. But then we'll monitor them for 3 months, and if we see that there's nothing that is happening, then we'll just say, okay, maybe you can't just
because
just do the business, and we'll just say, okay, we'll give up on you. Maybe we'll help the children, but you as a parent,
we're done for now.
Earlier on, you mentioned about you helping out elderly people with clean water.
Yes.
Is it only, are you only focused on clean water, or there are other things that you also help them out with?
Okay, so what we do with the elderly people is, especially on a time like Christmas time, and where necessary, what we'll do is that we'll do food hampers. Yeah, this is where you buy mealie meal, cooking oil, sugar, and everything, and then we give them to the elderly people, especially those that are keeping orphans. And where we can, we've also helped with shelter. Maybe help with rentals. We've also done a house for an elderly person in Chawama, and this woman was identified when we were doing the food hampers. Where we just found out that where she was, the house where she was sleeping, she couldn't stretch. When sleeping, she would sit and just stretch her legs, and rain. Sometimes she would sleep standing because of the rains.
Wow.
Yeah, and. We just thank God, one of our well-wishers just said, okay, maybe we can help build a house, and which we did in Chawama.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. This reminds me of something. One of my colleagues, Baramsha, did a story in Lusaka West where this woman, she's old, in her 70s, she was abandoned by her children on allegation that she's a witchcraft. I know a lot of time when it comes to helping the elderly, people always, put this mentality that, okay, she's old, she's a witch, or stuff like that. Don't you think this is, again, drawing us back to the spirit of Ubuntu and giving back and just helping our, our elderly in society? Yeah, so that's what you're talking about. Witchcraft is actually very common, and it's actually very sad, because when you grow old, now everyone starts thinking as if, no, that one is a witch. That one is a witch. People will be scared. People will be even scared to help an elderly person because they think that person is a witch. And we've encountered a number of those in the community. When you go, somebody will just come to tell you, no, you want to help that person. That one is a witch. Please don't help. But as we're not helping because that person is a witch or anything, we are helping because that person is an elderly person, that person is Zambian, and we have that Ubuntu spirit in us, and we just say, okay, let's just go and help this person. And then they're forgetting that also them one day they will be old and they'll be called witches. So we also just need to change that maybe that practice, and I think there's need for a lot of sensitization. We need to do a lot of sensitization to just maybe tell the people that you're also going to grow old. It doesn't mean that when somebody grows old, then they're a witch. No. Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about some of the challenges that you face as an organization in just giving back. What are some of the challenges that you are facing, and how do you overcome those challenges? Or at all, if people want to come on board to partner with you, how is it that they can come on board and help you overcome those challenges?
Okay, so like the challenges are there. We can't, like I said, we're not a funded organization. We just depend on well-wishers. So, and we can't help everyone.
Yeah.
So where we can, we will help. Because some people will come to us, but how come you're giving to those people and not us? And what's wrong with us? But then the thing is that we can't help everyone. Where we can, and we help as funds allow us. So yeah, if we definitely we want a lot of people to come on board, to come and help. Also just volunteer when we're doing some of these community activities, because we also need people who can just come and talk to some of these young children in the communities. We need role models. We need people like you to just, maybe one of these days, say, okay, I'm coming with you. You just go and encourage that young person. You just go and encourage that young girl and tell her, if I did it, then you can also make it.
Okay, so Miriam, we'll take it upon ourselves this Christmas. We're joining the Shining Future Zambia, right?
Exactly, in giving out to the community.
Yes.
Because we have understood the importance and benefit of giving back to your community. It can be, you know, you go clean the street, you know, do something.
Yeah.
Talk to someone, you know, that's how you give back. We have been told it's not only in monetary forms, where you just need to give money every time. No, you can give out clothes, your shoes, and just make sure that
even
they
just your
are not worn
services,
out.
like she has mentioned,
Exactly.
you just being a media personnel, just going there, encouraging them, telling them that they can also be something, they can also do something.
Exactly.
It's also a way of giving back, because I think Mr. Lungu, when he mentioned about, you know, helping doesn't only mean that it has to be in monetary form. Most of us, we think, okay, in giving back, then I need to have money. That's what we think. And when we look at such organizations like the one she has, we just think, okay, they have money. And we start calling them, so no, there's this family, you come and help, forgetting that they also have the little that they have. And it takes people like you and I to just join them in helping and giving back to the community. So I think as the viewers, if you want to be part of the program, you know what we're talking about is the importance and the benefits of giving back to the community. So be part and parcel of the show by calling or texting us or leaving a comment on our Facebook page. We really want to hear from you. Someone will be asking, what are the benefits of giving back? What do I benefit by giving back? Because we just want to have the benefits. Sometimes we don't think of, okay, the goodness about it, but we just want to think, okay, what am I going to benefit from it? So you as an organization, what are the benefits that you've had, that you've experienced, that you can encourage someone out there who's thinking, what am I going to benefit even if I start giving?
Just additionally to her question, maybe my question would be, as we are giving, you know, when we take up this step of wanting to give back to the society, to the community, should we have this mindset of I need to benefit back? Or when we are giving, you know, because giving, you should give wholeheartedly and not expect something back. But should we always have this mentality that I need to gain something at the end of the day when I'm giving out this?
Very interesting question. I feel like personally, the benefit is that I'm at peace. My heart, when you just go, like when you see a smile on that vulnerable child, when you see a smile on that orphan, when you see a smile on that old woman's face or old man's face, that just melts me. Where you're saying, okay, and you feel at peace. You tell yourself, okay, I've done something at least. I know it's not much, but then I've done something. So I think when we are giving, we shouldn't expect something in return. Yeah, we should just go and just do what you can. And giving is not for everyone. Sometimes you need to have a passion.
You need to have you need to have a big heart.
A big heart. You need to have a passion for it. And believe you me, obviously, and God sees. He will not leave you to struggle when you give. He will always be there for you. And you won't even, things will just be in place because you have a lot of people praying for you. So you just find that things are just moving smooth for you and you don't understand, but then there are those people that you have helped. There are those people that you've touched, maybe you've touched their life. And you find that because of them, you find that things are moving well for you.
Yeah.
Interesting. Interesting, quite interesting there. I hope our viewers have learned one or two things out there. Maybe you can just give us your concluding remarks as we get to close our breakfast show this morning.
Okay, so concluding remarks is I'd encourage everyone to just go all out and do something good, go and give. It's Christmas time, call somebody, just wish them a Merry Christmas, visit your friends, visit your relatives, remember those relatives that are in the village. If you can afford to just send them a little something, it would help. Remember your friends that might be in need, and you can just, whatever you can share with them, it would be very, very important. And also, just go all out. Go and eat with the children in the community. Go and eat with the street kids. Buy something. And if you don't mind, come and join us. Get details. We are on Facebook as Shining Future Zambia, and we'll be doing a lot of feedings. We'll be in Chisamba. We'll be in Rufunsa. We'll also be in Obama this like December. So just look out for some of our programs.
Exactly. I hope people out there would join you in the spirit of giving, of Ubuntu. Like you said, it's festive season. It's the festive season. It's a Christmas. It's Christmas time. It's a month of giving. Katamanda, I still want my present.
No problem. The present will come. We have learnt about the importance of giving, so definitely your present will come. And I'm just hoping that I'll find time to just, you know, spend time with the children. I would really want to just be there, even if it's just sharing what I know.
Exactly. But
I
sit
really
down
want to
with them. Tell them about your experience.
Yes.
Encourage them, you know, in terms of school, you know. It's very, very
And just
important.
being a girl child is not easy, you know. We face a lot of things. There are things that we need, and some children think maybe going from this man to that man, that's how you earn a living, but there are still things that you can do. You can use your skills, like maybe learning how to plait hair, how to do makeup. You can learn these things on YouTube, and people always have like bundles to, you know, call people and everything, but instead of calling or maybe wasting it on bullying people on social media, you can just learn a skill. And then you start giving back to the community.
People should stop, you know, using bundles to bully people on Facebook.
Yes,
That's cyber law. But anyway, this is where we want to send benefits of giving back to the community. And in studio, we were joined by Maningose Chipeta, the Shining Future Zambia director, and